Our next guest is known for sharing insight about wealth and investment, but this morning she's going to share with us a heartfelt story about raising a son diagnosed with Down syndrome. So joining us for 10 Minutes to Your Health is Director of the Jamaica Down Syndrome Foundation, Denise Williams. Morning, Denise.
Good morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Thank you.
She has such a great energy all the time, you know.
Yes. Well, right back at you. Yeah.
So let's start with, because I feel like this is the part that parents often get lost in.
Okay.
When did you recognize that something might be wrong? And how did that journey take you to the discovery that this is Down syndrome?
All right. So my son was a cesarean, and the nurse immediately noticed something was wrong. Oh. So with Down syndrome, there's some telltale. So that there's, you know how your hands has 3 lines? Well, the baby will just have one.
Oh.
One line. And the eyes are very slanted. The nose is flat. So there are telltale physical signs, and the nurse picked it up right away.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I know that moment can be, I mean, the nurse can say that this is it, and you're probably saying, nurse, you have, the baby just born. What are you talking about? Children feed?
No, you get hit by a truck.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
So you immediately said, okay, this might be it. You didn't go into denial?
No, I didn't know what Down syndrome was, but I knew it wasn't good.
Oh.
And then the news kept going. He had a hole in his heart. We have 4 valves, and 2 of his valves they fell behind the other 2 in the heart, and it was just boom, 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 boom. I mean, it was terrible. It's when you go back to that moment and you say, but why something had to happen to my baby? Why me? And then, it was, let me tell you, I'm a person that like to research.
Yes.
And so by the time, you come out of the hospital, you kind of in a daze, and then you come out. The first thing I did, I was told, there's no help for this baby in Jamaica. There's no help. And I could not believe that. I could not. I didn't accept it. I immediately went on Google and I put in Jamaica, Down syndrome.
Correct.
And boom, the Jamaica Down Syndrome Foundation came up. I found their Facebook page. 13 years later, here I am. I would not be sitting here talking to you if it were not for the foundation. They saved us.
How important is that, Denny? Because we tend to, as you did, when something happens, we're going to do the research, we're going to try and figure it out on our own. How important is it to be amongst a group of people that have had the experience, that have done the research that you're trying to do, that have done the trial and errors, and they know what can work? How important is that?
It is life-saving because the advice out there is so bad.
Yeah.
The amount of people, I'm going to grow it out. Don't worry. Just listen to me. Early intervention.
Critical.
And if it wasn't for the foundation, I wouldn't. There is a woman who has angel wings. Her name is Antonia Gunter Gale. She runs the early stimulation program. That woman, let me tell you, I mean, was there 400,000 babies with special needs in Jamaica or more? She is the angel for those babies across, whether cerebral palsy, autism, you name it. She's the angel she runs that program.
Wow.
And Jamaica allows you to get from 0 to 8 years old or 6 years old, one of the 2, you get therapy, and she runs that. That makes a difference. And then specific to Down syndrome is the foundation. They have a counselor, because some days is rough,
Very.
Right? Depression is real. There's postpartum depression, and then there's depression that you face when your baby you're constantly at the doctor's office, you're constantly at the hospital. That depression leads job loss. I've lost jobs because of depression. You're not functioning on the job. Then you have unhelpful but well-meaning family members.
Road to hell is paved with good intentions, girl.
And it's just, you have to cling to the people and the organizations that make sense. I want to take the opportunity to say thank you to the Digicel Foundation. When my son was 2-3 years old, they had invested in parent education.
Wow.
Yes, I want to say thank you to the NCB Foundation.
Wow.
They wrote a check and helped the Jamaica Down Syndrome Foundation survive through COVID.
Wow.
So there are organizations. There's so many more organizations that
out
help.
there that have been
Yes,
been useful.
so I just the top of my mind, but
no, please. I'm glad you did.
Many
I'm glad you did
that have
because
helped us.
I'm glad you did because CSR is very important, and I try to encourage companies as much as I can to do it, and so they have to big them up. One of the things you said was early intervention was critical.
Yes.
How important is that to the quality of life of a child with Down syndrome?
All right. So early intervention takes many forms.
Right.
So one of the most impactful parent training was they locked us in a room, and you know the old time TV, and when you click the wrong channel, it goes to snow and it they locked the parents in that room and did it to us for a minute. It was the longest minute of our life. And the parents, why are you doing this? Confusion. And they say, that is what your child with special needs is going through every day. That's what they're hearing. You think you're talking to them, and they're hearing static.
Distortion.
Yes. Right? Early stimulation, early intervention helps you to be a better parent because now you know what the child needs. So Down syndrome in particular have very weak muscle tone. Right? Sometimes they don't take to the bottle, they don't take to the breast. And so you need therapy, massage, and help so your baby does not have malnutrition. Okay? Early intervention helps you to understand, so this weather changes. You need to have certain medication on hand because they will present like an asthmatic. Right? There's just so many things you as the parent have to be on point with. Early intervention helps you and gives your child the support, whether it's, building strength, muscle strength, handling heart condition, their ability. So my child, he's 13, he's illiterate. He cannot read and write, but he does sight. So he can tell you what things are, but he can't spell them. And so developing sight language and even in society using technology to help him live a normal life.
Right.
That's early intervention helps you to identify those things. During COVID, a lot of organizations, Rotary clubs and stuff donated tablets to our children. And that's part of the help. I mean, so much more is needed. The American Medical Association says children with special needs, they need an additional 40 hours of intervention after school each month to function. But that costs. Speech therapy costs, occupational therapy costs. 95% of the members of the Jamaica Down Syndrome Foundation are single mothers at the clerical level. 75% live outside of Kingston. So access to services, access to help and intervention is a challenge. So we need to build out the technology to reach them.
I gotta say though, I'm heartened by where it is now.
Yes.
Because we're coming from a time where if a child had special needs, parents didn't know what to do. So once a child had special needs, it's almost as if they didn't even exist. They'd have them at home and them lock them away in a room, or when people come, don't make nobody see them, make them stay. That's what it used to be, you know?
Yes.
So I'm very happy. I mean, now you have your beautiful son
Yes.
on the screen that parents are saying, my children are different, but they're children too.
Yes.
And they must be loved, respected,
Yes.
and they must also get their rights as children. And I'm
Yes.
very, very happy
Yes.
that where we're going. Lots more to go,
Yes.
Denise, but man, I'm so happy.
Yes.
What's your son's name?
Denville Jennings.
Denville Jennings. He
Yes.
likes art?
He likes art, he
Yes.
likes cooking, he likes going out. He's
Yes.
very active, very active.
Yeah.
And again, the Down Syndrome Foundation sponsors, reach out and allow us to have family fun days. Yes, this year, we're just coming out of COVID, so this year it was at St. Luke's Church.
I
Yeah, you
remember.
remember, and I thank you for that interview. And so parents came out, we had art therapy, we had play therapy, and our sponsors, listen, it is so, every dollar matters. Every dollar, we're working, one of the biggest needs we have is speech therapy and technology.
If I'm watching now, before you
Yes.
go, Denise,
Yes.
and I have a child, a relative that I feel needs support, how do I reach out to the foundation?
Please, just Google Jamaica Down Syndrome Foundation. Oh, and I see the website. Thank you. The website is there. Call. We have a very active WhatsApp group. Parents share, post pictures of their baby's development. It's a family.
It's a family. Thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank
being with us this morning. Listen, we don't have to do things alone anymore, not in this world. And information and support is there. Reach out. Director of Jamaica Down Syndrome Foundation, Denise Williams. That's 10 Minutes to Your Health. We'll do it again next Thursday.